All right, welcome back. We apologize for that long break. So now let's go straight to analyzing the stories that we have left. And our guest on the show today is Dr. Yahuza Getzo, who is a security consultant. Great to have you on the show, Dr. Yahuza.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
All right, let's quickly head down to the headlines that we have. If we can take maybe like 2 or 3 of them before we let the program go. This one talks about allegation of embezzlement against the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, at the tune of over 400 billion naira. But then he came out to state that it is politically motivated. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, when there are allegations and when alarm is raised, usually everybody should provide facts. Madam Nasser El-Rufai, we are lucky that he is alive, and he can be a committee. I know a committee has been set by the State Assembly to invite him to present ABCD of all the nitty-gritty of Kobo and Naira that have been spent. So I think it is simple. Usually when you go to, when there are allegations, usually when you go to Kaduna, if you know Kaduna very well, and you go to Kaduna now, definitely you will know that something happens in Kaduna. And it was open. There were a lot of debates between the National Assembly, the Senate, on allowing the Kaduna State to borrow money, sometimes I think in 2016 or 17 or thereby. Sometimes when Obasani, the present governor, was in the Senate, there were a lot of back and forward on either to allow the Kaduna State to borrow that money. So if that money has been borrowed, there is nothing wrong in asking Malam Nasser El-Rufai for ABCD that Obasani did not understand. How do you spend this money? But the fact of the matter is, I saw when Malam Nasser El-Rufai was handing over. In fact, not only I saw, I witnessed. I was in Kaduna and I was present when Malam Nasser El-Rufai was handing over the power to Malam Obasani. He has made mention how much money how he was able to put together, which source, or internal revenue, borrow, whatever, and how those money were spent. So I think Obasani was 100% part of the Malam Nasser El-Rufai administration, even though he was in the Senate. But he has been one of the most closest cabinet friends and cabinet associates of Malam Nasser El-Rufai.
So do you really think that this is politically motivated, like he stated?
Yes, of course. It may be, it can be, for these justifications that I'm giving. But this doesn't stop Malam Obasani and the State Assembly to investigate. And it will. I hope it will not be the business as usual, when you will have had an allegation and then it will be buried and that's the end of it. We see the flame, and then later, after some couple of weeks or couple of months, it will be buried and that's the end of it. All we want is the Nigerian public, especially the Kaduna State indigenes, we want to know how this money, what is the source of these allegations, what are the justifications, what are the variants. And then we want to also hear from Malam Nasser El-Rufai and his commissioners and heads of MDS. I know Malam Nasser El-Rufai have performed very well compared to many other governors. There is no doubt about that. But if there were mistakes here and there, it may be by his commissioners, it may be by head of MDS, maybe he has given instruction for ABCD and it hasn't been kind of implemented. But all I know, during Malam Nasser El-Rufai administration, every money, every head of MDA and the commissioner must be present in Government House by 7 a.m. to provide a briefing of how they spent last day and what they plan for this day. So if the such tracking system has been put in place by Malam Nasser El-Rufai to fast track and make sure that each and every money that will be spent, there used to be a committee. No commissioner or head of MDA or Malam Nasser El-Rufai himself allowed himself to go and spend ABCD without having a commissioner. I know the structure of Malam Nasser El-Rufai administration very well. I'm not defending him. If there were a mistake, they are human. Everybody is human. So less than the State Assembly make sure that I know most of them are errands of Malam Nasir El-Rufai, most of them. So but I'm not surprised. Usually the political disappointment used to be is something similar that we witness in Rivers State and many other states. So I'm not surprised, but I'm not depending on Malam Nasir El-Rufai.
Are you saying that this is tilted towards what's happening in Rivers State between the government and the current government?
Of course, it's almost, but I am still emphasizing and making a clarion call and requesting the Obasani administration to prove it. And at the same time, I'm asking Malam Nasir El-Rufai to also provide relevant evidence to prove that it is politically motivated.
All right.
It is simple.
All right, so like they say, he who alleges must definitely prove. Daily Trust this morning says Northern senators, MACBAN, reject bill restricting herders movement. And the writers say proposed law driven by emotions coming from pastoralists. Ranching will end clashes with herders. That's what farmers are saying. And all Nigerians have rights to live anywhere in the country, coming from Barrow. Let's get your thoughts.
Well, I quite disagree with the Senate or the National Assembly or whosoever is calling for ranches and calling for stopping the movement of the herders. It is absolutely wrong. And I quite disagree with it. What happens to our brain? I don't know. If we are having a different psychology, where I think every responsible person should learn from his parent and foreparents. Tafawa Balewa, Azukwe, Nnamdi Azukwe, Awolo, and the rest, and even the colonial administrators, felt away and provided cattle routes where the herders can move around and conduct their cattle rearing. So where is our brain? Why can't we do it right? Why must we continue to take over the right of the Fulani, the right of the herders? I think it's wrong, and it's one of the cultivating factors. It's one of the factors, the motivating factors why we are having all these clashes. People should come and ask us the history or go back to the history. Why do we have cattle routes? And why there were cattle ranches. So, and these ranches that you people are talking about, what have you done serious to manage it? Is it because the senators want to own farmlands where they will retire when they go back to their villages and their local governments and state? This is wrong. Yes, of course, I'm not discouraging the issue of ranches, because that will have its own integral part as far as agricultural animal production.
They say they have to earmark 342 billion naira for the ranching.
Well, why do we have to spend that money? Why can't we go back to cattle routes that was established by colonial administrators and also reviewed by our foreparents, those who found this country? Does that mean that Tafawa Balewa, Azukwe, Ahmadu Bello, and Awolo are not in their sense when they design an organized system that made it very difficult? There was a very good relationship between herders and farmers. You, whichever state are you from, south, I know, even before, at the time when you were born, you know Fulanis, herders are there, and they are doing their business, and every other person is doing his own business. Why are they pushed to carry AK-47 now? We need to ask ourselves questions.
Are they the ones that are pushed to carry AK-47?
Of course. No.
Because we heard that it is not the ones that they were living with you that are carrying the AK-47.
It is the same people that are living with us. Anybody who says that those who are carrying AK-47 are different from those who have been living with us is telling lies.
Oh, interesting.
I am a forest investigator. I'm a forest criminal therapist, and I'm expert in my own authority in my own area, in my own profession, and I believe so much that 99.9% of those pastoralists that are carrying AK-47 are indigenous of those local government, those states where they are operating. How do I get to know them?
Tell us.
How did the government get to know them? Why do our government says that they had dialogue with them? If they are foreigners, they could have been sent out of the country. But there were dialogues as claimed by the governors between the 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, up to 2023.
So Dr. Getzo,
even presently we had some allegations by some of the governors that federal government is having dialogue with them. And I said time was out number. those pastoralists carrying AK-47 are citizens of Nigeria, and they are citizens within wherever they are conducting this activity of kidnapping, killing innocent, kidnapping for ransom, whatever they are doing in northwestern part of the country, northeastern part of the country, north central part of the country, wherever they are doing whatever they are doing. So they are doing it within the radius of 70 kilometers of where they came from and where they have been in the last 150 years.
So if you're saying
they were born there, most of them were born there, their parents were born there, their foreparents, their grandparents were born there. Those in Zamfara, they are indigenous of Zamfara. Those in Kaduna were indigenous of Kaduna. Those in Sokoto were indigenous of Sokoto. I challenge the governors of Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kaduna, Niger to come out and tell me that those who are committing these offenses and atrocities are not indigenous of their states. So how can you tell me that they are not the ones we know? They are the ones we know, and we know them, we have been with them, our parents have been with them, our foreparents have been with them, and we know during the dry season they used to move to some other green areas, maybe in Kaduna State, Niger State, and then during the rainy season they come back. They are the same people we know. Dr.
Getzo, 1 minute please. Now, if you are saying that you are alleging and you're stating emphatically that those who have lived with us
well, I'm not alleging, I have facts.
Okay.
I'm not alleging.
Okay.
It is only when you don't have fact. And I want each and everybody who want to know to call me, and I'm ready to defend it. I have evidence, and I challenge the governors to come out and tell me they are not.
We will bring out more time so that you can actually prove your fact.
Okay.
Because like we agreed that he who alleges must definitely prove. So we'll give you more time.
Absolutely.
Some other time to prove this fact. But now if you say that Fulani man who has been living around my area for the past 10, 20, 50 years is the same person who have been carrying guns, how come are you also alleging that some of these institutions, these splinter groups that they have, the MACBAN, the Mieti Allahs, are you saying that they are also inside there? That's what you're saying to me.
Let me tell you one thing. There is nobody carrying AK-47 in Nigeria that Mieti Allah leaders don't know the person. There is nobody either is carrying one AK-47 or 10 AK-47. The head of Mieti Allah in his local government know who he is and knows if there is anything called hideout, knows his hideout. If I as a layman, I'm not a MACBAN, I'm not a Mieti Allah, I'm not a security agent, but I said I know all the hideouts and locations of all these guys, and I keep saying over 17 years I have been repeating myself. I know where they are, and I have been reporting their activities, their mischievous activities since the year 2001. I have reported this to the security in Kebbi. The retired DSS, the retired police officers, the retired military, those whom I work with in Kebbi, Sokoto and Zamfara in those years, in the year 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. They know I have been writing, I have been calling the attention of the security agencies, the state, federal governments, and those emirs who have been on seat. I don't have the authority.
What has happened since
I don't have the authority. My own is, as a researcher, I made findings. I alert the government. And if they say they don't have records of what I have been alerting them, they are alive. Most of those who rose, there is one of them who was a deputy commissioner. He rose up to the rank of the Inspector General of Police in Nigeria, and he knew. I read those things. So I don't have the authority. All I have is I have the vision, I have the mission, and I have the passion for my country. I have the patriotism and the compassion for my country, and I believe that all I have been doing, I have been kind of making my life so vulnerable. Conducting researches, investigating, making fact-finding. Even in recent time, I travel not only in Nigeria, I travel up to Cameroon, Niger, up to Central Africa. I travel by road, and nobody financed me. I financed myself, and it is all simply because I'm working hard to find reasonable, factful make fact finding to enable the government of Nigeria and the Sahel and the entire African countries to know some of these issues, and I always make presentations.
Okay, so
and I always challenge anybody on whatever seat he or she is to come and challenge me that the fact I have been presenting, they are brutal lies, and let him present his own, let it be a public debate. I have my facts, and let anybody who says that they are foreigners or they are not the same Fulani, the same MACBAN, the same Mete Allah members that are committing the atrocities, or let the MACBAN or the Mete Allah come and debate with me that they don't know these guys in the forest. They don't know who are operating ABCD. Let any Mete Allah chairman of the local government come and meet me in public place. Let's debate it. I say they know them, and I have my evidence.
To get to outside debates now, you've already accused governors of Sokoto State, of most northern states.
I'm not accusing anybody. I'm challenging them. If what I'm saying,
that's one.
Yes,
that's
I'm not accusing. I'm challenging them. I'm challenging them if they say they don't know the guys operating in their state, and if they say they are not, they are new people, not the same Fulani, the same members of Mete Allah and MACBAN that we know. We inherited from our parents, from our foreparents, from our grand. We know them, they know us. We are all children of the same Fiza. We are all children of northern Nigeria, and we are all children of the same states where all these things is happening.
All right.
We know them. Those who are committing the offenses, we know them. They know us. They are citizens. We are citizens. And no district head or ward head or village head that can tell me those who are operating around him, he don't know them. And all they are different MACBAN, are different Mete Allah members that we used to know from Sardauna, Tafawa Balewa, Obasanjo, Yakubu Gowon, Obasanjo administration, Murtala, Babangida, Abacha, Shonikan, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Obasanjo again, Goodluck Jonathan. To date, they are all indigenous.
All right, we have to go. Our time is fast spent. We have so many things to talk about, but definitely time will not let us. But like I said, we'll definitely bring you back to this roundtable to discuss this matter, and I hope you come back with your facts.
Sure. I am presenting facts, and I will come with more.
All right, so definitely this conversation just got heated because we are opening this conversation again with Dr. Yahuza Getzo. I'm not going to tell you when. Just keep watching KAFTAN television. Good morning, Nigerians. My name is Annabel Orji.